Well, we're up on the roof of the Alpine doing some pre-trip checkout things, and I wanted to take a look-see at the Zone 1 AC heat pump, since I'm going to be using the heat pump up in Yellowstone quite a bit. And so what I want to do is pull off the Evap cover. I didn't pull this off earlier this spring on my normal pre-trip checks and cleanups and stuff, but I want to pull this off and clean it out, and we'll take a look-see. The rest of everything looks pretty clean, but I haven't had this off this year, so thought I'd come up and we'll pull this Evap cover off so we can see the Evap condenser, the freeze sensor, and make sure that freeze sensor is in place, and make sure the Evap coils are clean, and just a general look-see and clean up. So we've got all the screws out, and I can see I've got a little piece of sealant right here that we need to take a look-see at, see what's going on with that. And a little bit of sealant has been lost right here, so we want to seal this up, otherwise we're sucking in hot air or cold air in the winter time, so we don't want that. And we'll get this cover off, and this is a Dometic Brisk Air II 15K AC heat pump combo, and it's just finishing up its 10th year use, and overall, as you can see, it's very clean. I keep it maintained. So let's go take a look, see what the Evap coil looks like. And we have the cover removed, just laying back here onto it. The seal all along the edge here, across the top, and across here is in good shape, and that's what we wanted to see. The coil itself looks very clean, which I expected it to. And right down there in the lower right, you can see the freeze sensor right here. It's where it's supposed to be. It's in place. Down inside, you can see the electrical connection, and you can see the quick splice, the yellow and clear connections. That's your quick splice for your 120 volt AC to the unit. And right down there is a small telephone junction box, and what that is for is that connects the Dometic CCC2 thermostat up to the control box on this Brisk Air II. We're looking down inside the cold air passageway, and you can also see the entrance down in here. This is where the cold air will blow through, and it looks very good. Don't have any problems with that. And looking down inside here, the back side, everything looks pretty good. Just a little bit of rough spot right here on the coil. That's not hurting a thing. And the fan itself looks nice. And we'll go ahead and spin this just a little bit. See if I can zoom in enough. There we go. Now you can see. And we're just spinning this just to take a look-see at the squirrel cage fan, and everything looks nice. There's not a lot of slop and movement. And when we look out at the condenser fan, which is what exchanges the hot air out, it's turning nice and smooth. The motor feels good and clean. So we don't see anything else in here. There really wasn't anything to blow out. It's nice and clean, and quite impressive for a unit that's almost 11 years old now. So all we need to do is, when we put this cover back on, we'll seal this void right in here where the cold freon comes in, and we'll take care of that, and everything else looks good. And one last item that you want to pay attention to when you're up here checking your older unit, this again is a Brisk Air II, is this section right here. Underneath here is a hole, and this hole through the bottom of the metal pan for the AC. Well, right here is where the water drains out and drips out through this drain tube and drips out onto the TPO membrane, and then that's where you see the water running off your roof. And if you look over on this side. Now, if I can't see it with this control box in the way, let's see if we can get a view. There you go. And that plastic looking piece that you see right underneath the metal right here, that is the drain tube for the other side of the evap coil, and you can see the hole where the water drains down through. So you want to make sure that's all clear and open. And overall, the unit looks very clean. The evap coil looks clean. We'll blow that out just a little bit, but or not the evap coil, the condenser coil. And we've got the cover that's back on the evap coil now. As you can see, all the screws are in place. And I got to looking at this piece of sealant right here. What this actually is a seal right at the top edge where these two small lines run through. And so that's the purpose of that. So the only thing we've got to fix right here is this section right here where we've got an opening in the sealant. One last look-see, and we went ahead and sealed up this section over here, and that's nice and sealed up, so no air is going to be drawn in, so our cold air will stay in, as will the hot air if we're running in heat pump mode. Everything else looks good. The protection device looks good. We don't see anything overheated. And so I think we'll put the cover back on, and this will be ready for our trip here in a couple of weeks. And so that wraps it up. We have all the screws back on. There are 8 screws, 3 down each side and 2 in the front. And those are all been installed, so we know that the cover won't blow off, hopefully. And the next thing we're going to do is get a hose and a bucket of water with some Dawn dish soap and a long handle brush, and get up and scrub the roof and slide out membranes off, and then we'll have that part done before we get ready for the trip. But there you go, that's a Brisk Air II heat pump, showing you what the evap coil looks like on a 10-year-old unit, and it looks pretty darn good, I think.